All right, guys, you asked for it. So what we're doing today is going over a pre-game or pre-skate warm-up. This is based on my experience and the best research on how to get both your body and your nervous system firing and ready for a game. Everything from foot to hip and upper body mobility and strength. All right, first thing we want to do is get our cardiovascular system warmed up. So we're going to jump on a stationary bike. We're going to go light to moderate intensity, and we want to spend roughly 6 to 8 minutes on it. We can start to increase the intensity towards the end. It's going to get our joints opened up, and again, mainly just getting our heart rate up and moving. Okay, the alternative to being on the bike is we can grab a skipping rope. We're going to do 5 to 6 minute, nice easy skip. Gets our heart rate going. Gets our nervous system primed. After we get off our bike and we're done skipping, I want to get our pelvis firing. So what you're going to do, attach the band nice and low, so about knee height. You're going to step back with the band across the top of your pelvis. We're going to be in a slightly athletic forward position, and we're going to slowly pelvic tilt. We want to go for 12 to 15 and do a couple sets of that. We're going to progress it to doing a single leg stance or where we split. You can do the same movement another 10 to 12 and then swap sides again, get both sides firing. And we're just pelvic tilting nice and slow to get our pelvis, glutes, and posterior core firing. It's not hard, it's just an activation piece that we need for that skating and that power, because we develop all our power through our pelvis. Next piece, I want to get our neck warmed up and moving. So we're going to take a nice light band. We're going to be in a plank position or quadruped, which is on our hands and knees. You're going to come down, anchor the band down, get into that plank position, and then I want you to just tuck your chin back and forth. We're going to shoot for higher reps, so 12 to 15 on this. Once we're done that, we're going to rotate left, rotate right, rotate left, rotate right. We're keeping our shoulders pushed out and our core engaged. Then we're going to go back into the chin tucks, and then second set of the rotation. 12 rotations each way, and 12 chin tucks. Okay, next one, we're going to do a banded figure 4 stretch to get our hips opened up. So again, attach the band nice and low. You're going to stick it through your leg. You want it up nice and high in your groin, and I want you to pivot so it's pulling you down towards whatever you're anchored to. You're going to go into that figure 4 position, scoot yourself up so you get a good amount of traction, and we're just going to rotate back and forth to get our hips opened up. We like to keep things active and moving. Not a big fan of the static stretch. We're going to hang out here for 20 seconds, and we're going to do that on each hip. If this feels really good, double it up and do 2 sets of it, each lasting roughly 20 seconds. From there, keep the band at the same height. I want you to get into a 90-90 position. So we're building a little rectangular house in here. Knees at 90, hips at 90, and ankles at 90. And you're going to take this band, use it to help yourself sit up from there, and then really slowly come back down. You're going to push back up, really slowly back down. So we're shooting for 6 reps on this on each hip. It's working a lot of external rotation on one hip, internal on the other, firing our glutes, pelvis, gets us a lot of power and nervous system priming for when we get into those skate positions. Light band and a small foam roller. You can also use a small ball. This is going to prime pelvis with some thoracic rotation. We want to get the knee roughly to 90 or just above. You're going to anchor down with your top hand, overhand grip, grab it at the end, rotate with your upper body, and only take it as far as your eyes allow you to. So we're going to stop right there. If you got more rotation, you can go further. Breathe out as you rotate. Keep your pelvis nice and level. We're going to shoot for 8 to 10 reps on this. All right, we're doing a modified airplane exercise is what I call it. We're going to push down on the top of the foam roller, push up with our foot. We're going to hinge forward so we're parallel to the ground, and then we're going to pull out of that. Come back down, really pushing, keep that glute and core engaged, keep your spine neutral, come back to neutral. 6 per side on this one. Next exercise is for glute stabilization with a slider so we get range of motion. What we're gonna do, we're gonna set up against the wall. You're gonna push into the wall, front leg slightly bent. We're gonna step on the slider. First, we slide out and around as deep as we can. We pull back up. We're gonna do 6 reps that way, and then we're gonna reverse it. So we go counterclockwise. Through the whole motion, I'm pushing that slider down into the ground and sliding through the range of motion. So we get glutes stabilization on one side and adductor activation on the other, along with that glute being activated. Next one, we're going to be kneeling with the split stance here. We're gonna do the same motion when we push into the wall. The band's gonna be attached perpendicular to our leg, and we're gonna rotate in and out, in and out. This is working the external and internal rotators of that hip. We're gonna do 6 rotations in and out, try and get full range, and then switch the band so we get the resistance going the other way as well. Grab a partner for this or attach it to a post. Okay, the next piece is a 2-part series with a simple one and then a more advanced one. It's called the Founder. It's a really good posterior core and hip hinge exercise. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna be about 2 feet off the wall. You're gonna sit back till you're almost touching the wall with your butt, and then all the weight is gonna be in your heels, your toes are free. And what you're gonna do is slowly lift up, create tension in that low back through the lats, and then you're gonna hold there. And we're just gonna breathe into our low back. We're gonna do 2 deep breaths like that. And then we're gonna slowly come out of it, reset, sit right back, get all that tension into our heels and in our low back. We're gonna slowly lift up, let our lats pull through, and then take those 2 deep breaths in there. The more advanced version is gonna be on a single leg. You're gonna kick back with your heel. You're gonna reach forward, creating that tension through the lats, kick out with the heel, and we're just gonna hold and take 2 deep breaths there again. And release. Okay, when we're on the ice, we're always in this forward position, so we wanna get our T-spine opened up. It's just gonna help us create power through our pelvis and posterior core. Foam roller, grab a hockey stick or a dowel, depending on what you have. You're gonna set that right at the apex of the back, and what you're gonna do is just create reps and extend over it. What I'm trying to do is take this dowel or stick and pull it apart and extend over. We can hit different segments by scooting up and down, depending on where we notice that tension, but we wanna actively be going back and forth while we're opening up lats and our T-spine. A really common thing we see is groin or adductor injuries, so we wanna make sure we target that area. You're gonna go into a half kneeling position. One leg is pointing back, the other one's pointing out. You're gonna take your inside hand, and we're just gonna rock forward towards the toe and pull back out of it. Nice and slow, breathe out as we go down. This hand can be free, and this one's just slowly reaching forward. So we're opening up that adductor and coming out of it. Again, we're gonna shoot for 6 to 8 reps per leg and a couple sets of that to get it warmed up and moving. To keep building off that adductor, groin, and those hips, we're gonna go into a quadruped position. So hands and knees again. We're gonna come down. I want you to kick your leg back. We're gonna come across and around. We call it a hip cars. We're gonna do 6 nice and slow circles here to really get our low back and hips opened up. Each side, a couple sets. All right, this next one is for our psoas and hip flexors to slowly eccentrically load them. You're gonna find a kettlebell that's a decent amount of weight, enough that as you tip back, it doesn't lift up. You can also have someone hold it down for you. The goal is hook it in, bring in your opposite knee, and we're gonna slowly lengthen until we get our pelvis and our hip neutral, and then we're gonna pull out of that. We're gonna drop nice and slow all the way back down, and then pull back out of it. If I had a slightly heavier weight, we could go a little bit deeper. The goal is to slowly load this, bring it back, and then pull it back out. Shoot for higher reps, so 8 to 10 on this, and a couple sets per hip to get it firing. Okay, next piece is our mini band set. So grab a nice, easy loop band. We're gonna put that around the top of the foot. We're gonna drop back, keep our ankles, knees, and hips all hip width apart. We're gonna push up into that glute bridge position, and we're gonna go internal, external, internal, external. We're gonna do 30 reps back and forth, keeping our hips nice and aligned. We're just rotating those hips in and out with our feet to really get our glutes firing in those rotational positions. And then we're gonna drop back down. From there, keep the band there, but lift up the hips again. We're gonna do 15 calf raises. Up, down, down, up, down. Okay, next piece, we're gonna do a Cossack squat. Really good at priming our ankles, pelvis, knees. We can do it banded to add a little bit more tension. So what we're gonna do, nice split stance here. You're gonna drop down into your squat, pull back out of it. We're gonna do each side, 8 reps. Pull back out of it. Personal favorite exercise as a quad and knee warm-up is a reverse Nordic curl. We're gonna have the band against the bar. We got something down for our knees. We're gonna do both legs first. Keep the pelvis nice and neutral. Toes are tucked so we get that toe mobility. We're gonna pull nice and deep into it. Then we're gonna use our quads to pull ourselves back out. Nice and deep into it. Shooting for 12 to 15 reps on this. We'll get your quads firing and lengthened in a nice safe way. Where we progress to from that, go into a half kneeling position, same pull with the band, and I want you to lean back. You're gonna feel it into the quad a little bit more. It's smaller movement, but allows us to get into the upper fibers of that quad more so. Good. And each side, again, 12 to 15, really gonna get those quads working. We're gonna move into getting glutes and hamstrings working together. So band, roughly knee height. I want you to step over it, decent amount of pull. We're gonna walk forward, slowly load into it, and then we're gonna explode out of it. Slowly load into it and explode out of it. 6 to 8 reps, 2 sets of this. We'll get those hamstrings and glutes working. Final prep, we wanna get our central nervous system and our body firing. So we're gonna do some sprints or quick hops. So if we're on the bike doing the sprints, we wanna go moderate to medium intensity here. And we're gonna do 3 sets, 20 seconds on with 40-second break in between. So first set, we're gonna come into it. I want an all-out sprint. We're gonna come into it as fast and hard as we can. We're gonna hold that for 20 seconds. And then we're gonna slowly ease out of it. Just do a nice light pedal for the 40-second rest. Then we do another set, 20 seconds on, and that 3 times. Okay, instead of doing bike sprints, if we don't have access to a bike, we can just do hops. It's really good for our nervous system. So hop, 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 and then we do 3 quick turns. Hop, 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 3 quick turns the other way. And we do roughly 1 to 2 minutes of that with little breaks in between to get everything firing, and then our body's warmed up and ready to go. All right, there you have roughly 16 to 18 minute warm up. Pick and choose what works or run through the whole thing. You can add exercises in where needed. If you go above and beyond, you have extra time, doing breath work before your training or your ice times is gonna be huge. Also before games, it just gets your nervous system primed and into that mental state. Post recovery, we can also get into some cold therapy. Sauna is awesome. And then the most important piece is getting adequate sleep.